Hello there, everybody. This is Dreadwing 2029 here, and today is going to be a bit of my thoughts on Transformers: Robots in the Skies, the new series, the 2015 series. So, without further ado, before I start this, I would like to say that there are going to be a couple spoilers in this review. Not many, just a little bit. But if you haven't seen the show yet, I recommend you go see it. Because this series is pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting series. But anyway, I think this series originally aired in China before I think it aired in Australia. Then eventually it got aired in America recently. I think they're up to their third or their fourth episode. I think in America. I'm not sure. You guys in the States correct me, but so it pretty much begins on a newly reborn, newly reformed, newly refined Cybertron. You know, Cybertron that's not actually destroyed, not actually dying, or doesn't have many Cybertronians on it. In fact, it's the opposite. It's fine. Everything's fine. All the Cybertronians are living on Cybertron now, and everything's just a peaceful, happy time on Cybertron. Um, this is a sequel to Transformers Prime. I'm not sure what time frame or what year or years after Predacons Rising, but yeah, it is a sequel to Transformers Prime. So it pretty much introduces right away to our three main characters: Bumblebee, Strongarm, and Sideswipe. Bumblebee throughout the series is like trying to be Optimus Prime. He's really trying to, be this great leader type that Optimus Prime was, but he doesn't really live up to Optimus Prime, but he still has the leadership to, get the job done. I reckon. And he even tries to do the whole, roll out and everything, and everybody just like looks at him and like laughs at his like quotes of roll out. I think like nearly every episode you get like a different quote of for roll out for Bumblebee. It's like a different version of roll out for Bumblebee. That's a different quote. Oh my god. Then you got Sideswipe. Sideswipe doesn't really follow the rules much. I mean, he's there to help, but he doesn't really exactly follow the rules and directions of said leader. I mean, he's kind of a bit of a rebel type, but he doesn't really particularly like Strong Arm because I reckon because Strong Arm is exactly the opposite to Sideswipe. I mean, she's kind of more follows really follows the rules. She even has this holographic law book of Cybertronian rules of regulations that whenever she needs to, she just it like appears and she like looks at the regulation like, oh, this regulation here that say that I can't do this. Yeah, she pretty much follows the rules. She also doesn't like Sideswipe. They don't really like each other. Kind of like I kind of see it more like a brother and sister kind of fight. Like they hate each other, like brothers and sisters, but they still work together. I mean, it's not like they completely hate each other, but they don't really like each other. And I reckon that'd be great if it like continues throughout the series. So, on Cybertron, Bumblebee gets this kind of reflection, ghost hallucination of Optimus Prime in the water. It tells him to go to this like Cybertronian museum of archives, I think, with a golden disc on the top. Obvious Beast Wars reference. So he heads there. He discovers he finds a space bridge there, which takes him to Earth. And Sideswipe and Strongarm comes along, but Bumblebee doesn't like the fact that Strongarm and Sideswipe are coming in because he wants to do it on his own. And the reason why Optimus Prime sent Bumblebee to Earth because he has a duty because a prison ship called the Alchemore, which is run by a character named Fixit. this prison ship has all these Decepticons as crash landed on Earth for really whatever reason. We don't even know why it crashes. It just crashes. I mean, on the I think on the Japanese opening, it showed like the before the Optimus Prime, you see this giant Alchemor ship kind of heading to Earth, and it's like burning and stuff. We don't. I guess that's the reason why it crashed on Earth, but we don't really know the reason why the Alchemor crashed on Earth. But yeah, the ship crashes. All these Decepticon prisoners escape, and Bumblebee realizes his task that he's gotta hunt down these Decepticon fugitives and put them back and send them back to Cybertron. So in one of these said stasis cells is Grimlock. Now we don't know why exactly Grimlock became a Decepticon or how he ended up in the Alchemor, but he eventually comes out and he eventually fights off the Decepticons, helps Bumblebee and the team capture the cons and eventually joins their side. And one episode he gets rid of the Autobot symbol on his shoulders. But there are some moments that I just laugh out loud with Grimlock. One episode was, "I'm a truck, vroom vroom, honk honk," when it was pretending to be a truck with all these like truck parts and wheels from the scrapyard, pretending to be a truck because he doesn't turn into an Earth vehicle, and Bumblebee doesn't really want Grimlock on a mission because he doesn't really turn into an Earth vehicle. I'm trying to think what else I can talk about. Oh yeah, the humans. Oh, I can't forget about the major human characters. I can't forget about that. We got Denny and we got Russell, the little kid. Denny is kind of this Denny is a kind of father figure for Russell. He works in this scrapyard, which is where the Autobots kind of lay low and capture the prisoners and whatnot. Yeah, I don't really know how much scrap or how big is a scrapyard, like how much stuff is actually in Denny's so-called scrapyard, and we have Russell, or Rusty as Denny calls him. I don't know, I can't remember the reason why Denny is staying with, Russell is staying with Denny, because her mother has to do whatever, I mean, pretty much a way to get her out of the series or something. I can't remember, but yeah, Russell's like this, like the little kid. These human characters actually aren't that bad. They're actually kind of cool human characters. I mean, everybody seems to harp on the Transformers Prime humans. I don't really mind the human characters on Transformers Prime, and they're not whiny. And same with the human characters on this series. But I don't know. I like these human characters. That's pretty much like the whole series. And that's pretty much like the whole story of the series. The Autobots have to stay on Earth, and pretty much each episode they gotta fight a Decepticon a week, and pretty much defeat him and put him in a stasis cell. Oh yeah, some episodes? Oh yeah, one or two episodes. You got the episode. I think episode 10 or 11 is when Jazz appeared. Jazz is pretty cool. I like his design. He's very bulky though. He's got these big shoulder pads and he's very bulky, and he uses speakers as a weapon. That is cool. And you got Drift. Drift is like this orange samurai, and he actually launches two minicons from his arm, which are like I can't remember the names. I think one of them was Slipstream, I believe. Slipstream for a minicon. I'm pretty sure Slipstream is a fembot or femcon, as you will, a femcon seeker. But Drift is alright character. And trying to figure out what else to talk about. And some of the episodes have good messages, like in the episode where Drift appears, like where you gotta. Oh, trying to remember the messages. Oh yeah, the jazz episode where the message is you try not to be somebody, try not to be somebody else, trying to be being yourself. Messages like that, really simple messages. Um, hmm. Trying to think what else to talk about. I think I covered everything so far. Oh yeah, Steeljaw. I can't forget about Steeljaw. Steeljaw is pretty much going to be recurring character in the series because um they pretty much introduced him in episode 3 and he disappears and he's my voice is really starting to go. My voice is going to go out for talking this long because I had a cold for these past couple of days. Steeljaw, he has a pretty cool motivation. His pretty much motivation is to like be free on Earth, like stay on Earth, and how he calls his fellow Decepticons as his brothers, and trying to remain free. He doesn't want to go back on Cybertron. He doesn't want to stay in a stasis cell for the rest of his life. I guess, but oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention: the designs of the Decepticons. Most of the Decepticons are pretty much based on animals or have like some features of an animal. Like Thunderhoof has like these giant antlers on his head who transforms into like some sort of farming tractor. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but farming tractor. You got other Decepticons. Like one of them is like pretty much a crab, but his ult mode is a car kind of thing. Underbite is like robot mode. It's like a dog in the first episode. He's like a giant walking dog, and he turns into some sort of Cybertronian ult mode. Yeah, the Decepticons are very very weirdly designed. I guess that makes. I guess that is a positive too because it kind of makes for interesting original looking Decepticons, but at the same time it kind of makes for weird Decepticons. But yeah, pretty interesting weird villains for the Autobots to fight. They're pretty much cannon fodder, the monster for the week basically. So yeah, um, I guess I should talk about the animation because that's another thing I gotta talk about. The animation originally was not what I expect from a show like this. I was expecting, cartoony animation, but in the series we got this kind of cell shaded animation, like cell shaded animation models for the human characters, and of course the Autobots and Decepticons, and you have like in this kind of drawn backdrop. It's sort of like a green screen. Like you got like a you got like this nice background, and you kind of got this out of place personal figure in the foreground. It's kind of weird. I reckon the animation is better than what we've seen in the previews. Still, yeah, the animation is kind of definitely growing on me, though. So, trying to think what else to talk about. Unless I'm missing something important, but yeah, I guess that will be it. So, thank you all for watching this little quick review on Transformers Robots in Disguise. I'm actually recording this on Easter Sundays, and it's not Easter in America yet, but it'll be tomorrow. So that means the states will have their chocolates. So I'm Dreadwing 2029, and if you excuse me, I'm going to eat my chocolate now. That's been sitting on this desk and is probably melted. Anyway, take care. See yous.